join me, Bex from the Wide Boot Company, as I go off to GBPRE for the breed show. And we also try a new saddle. This is the new arrival. So obviously there's been loads online, loads and loads and loads of articles about heavy riders and fat shaming and all the rest of it. I am a heavier rider. I'm very muscular, and I also have a very big bust which weighs quite a lot as well. So I was having a think about it, and the Dome of Vaquero saddle that I've been riding him in is very heavy. So he seemed pretty comfortable in it, I have to say. He's, you know, I think he doesn't always like the cropper going on, but other than that, the actual fit of the saddle, he's always gone very nicely in it. And, you know, we were quite happy with it, but I felt that going for the Alta Escuela saddle, which is this, is going to be slightly lighter for him to carry, and also a bit easier for me to put on with my arm not being 100% still. And also it just seems that the judges don't really like the Dome of Vaquero outfit, which is a real shame. I like it because I think it's very traditional. It's kind of like the cowboy style outfit compared to the posh, you know, sort of this is like the Spanish riding school type saddle, but you know, the outfits are a little bit flashier, and I guess they stand out to the judge more. And yeah, so I found this for a very good price. A lovely lady in Spain sent it to me, so I'm going to try him with it and see how we get on, and then sell my Dome of Vaquero saddle, which I am very sad about. But yeah, it is heavy, so maybe it's better it goes to somebody who's got you know, a bit more weight limit to play with than I do. So it's quite early. Sophie is on her way to help me try the Alta Escuela saddle, which arrived yesterday. So I'm pretty confident the fit should be okay, because I've used the template that my saddler took literally yesterday. She came to check my dressage saddle for me, and took a new template and showed me how to fold it on the paper and put it inside the saddle to show the shape, and it looks really good. So yeah, I'm hopeful that's going to be fine for him, and I'm just going to have a quick try of it now with Sophie helping me. The other thing is, I've had an email from GBPRE this morning with the details for the classes, and it looks like Caballo hasn't saved my 2 classes that I entered. All I've got is one have a go Alta Escuela test on Sunday morning. I did definitely add them to my cart at the time. I know a few people had issues with the booking website, and to be honest, because it's so expensive, I didn't notice that it wasn't on there. So yeah, I've emailed them to see what's going to happen, because to be honest, if it's going to be such a long way to go and it hasn't added those 2 classes, it's almost not worth the fuel to do it. Not in the horse box anyway, and you know, I might as well just go on foot and go and see Philip, and that'll be it. I don't know, I just feel a bit like, oh, everything's always, nothing's ever straightforward, is it? Anyway, yeah, so hopefully they'll be able to sort it out and add me back into the 2 classes that I had booked. I 100% added them to the cart. I definitely did. So, yeah, a bit annoying. There we go. Anyway. So these are the bits that have come with the saddle. So it's got a plain leather girth. I'm hoping this will be short enough for him, because he's quite small in girth size actually. And then this is the crupper, which I think is also called a baticola, something like that. Anyway, it looks much better than the Dome of Vaquero one, because you can actually attach the crupper separately, because on the Dome of Vaquero saddle, the crupper is right underneath the front of the saddle, the buckle where you adjust the length of it. Whereas this is much nicer, because you can put this on after you've put the saddle on, I'm assuming. So we're going to give that a go, and then the saddle is here. So yeah, we're going to give it a go. Okay, so off we go. Okay, certainly looks like a good fit. Just put around the front. So it's got plenty of clearance. And feet, come on. And then this looks like a nice angle for his shoulder as well. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So we'll try and girth him up and see what happens. Okay, oh, so much easier than the other crupper. So this one, I can just literally pop through his tail from the bottom. Makes life much easier. Right. Also, much softer and nicer than my Doma Vaquero one, which was very old and dry when I got it. So this is a bit of a nicer. Oops, sorry, Elf. Sorry, didn't mean to like scare you. Right, so I think we'll go through there. Mummy, put that out of your bot too quickly, didn't she? Sorry. I'd say that probably looks about right. Oh, so much easier. So with the Doma Vaquero one, I end up having to slide the saddle back enough so that I can get his tail through the crupper, and then it's a bit of a tight, having to lift his tail really awkwardly to get it through, and then try and sort of put the saddle forwards and slide it back slightly so his hair is flat. So that's much easier, which is nicer. So we might need to go one hole tighter, possibly. Actually, yes, I think it will go one hole tighter. And that. Okay. Together. Cool. So we're just gonna do the girth up a bit more, put his bridle on, and then we'll have a little film him. See how it goes. Oh, I like this. Oh, this feels much comfier for him. The Doma Vaquero saddle I felt was starting to get a bit tight on the front of his wither here, kind of on his shoulder, whereas this seems like a really nice fit actually. So I forgot I was going to put his VIP pad on, but actually he seems quite comfortable without it, so I think we'll not complicate matters and just stick with this for now. What do you think, Elsie? Do you like it? Nice saddle. You seem happy. You happy? I could maybe go down one stirrup hole, but...
Do you want to go down one?
No, it's too difficult to get under there. Actually, I don't know. It's alright. I'm not sure if this is... Maybe that could go... I don't know if you can angle that differently, whether it just attaches in one place or whether it can be moved. It might just need to be slanted slightly more that way for me.
More towards your knee.
Yeah. Oh, he seems very comfortable in it. Ladybirds, is it nice? Nice.
Like.
Why are you going so far? Now I'm not sure if I can sitting trot, if I can riding trot in it or not.
Do you want to try?
I don't know if you're allowed to in Alta Escuela. It's probably a sitting trot, isn't it?
Probably. You could try.
I'll have a go.
I bet it's difficult with that front bit.
But yeah. Right. I'm going to try again, El. Try again. Okay, let's go. I did realise afterwards I'd put the saddle slightly too far forwards. It needed to come behind his shoulder slightly more. Okay, so I can see riding trot get a little bit bruise inducing on the front there. So I think sitting trot is probably the way to go.
Nice.
Obviously with any new saddle it takes a little bit of a while to bed into the horse's shape slightly as well, so for a first ride it's not bad. I'm not brave enough to do more than that because it's so slippery on this muddy, well not muddy,
Wow.
where I've spread the muck, it's so slippery in the dew. But, okay, that's pretty good. So, to sum up, rising trot, not very comfortable. Hitting this, not good. And the stirrups are very slippery, but I am not wearing the best boots to be fair, so But yeah, because they've got so little tread in them, I think I'm going to maybe have to see if I can put something in there. It's very smooth, so it's quite hard to keep your feet in the right place because they slide around quite a lot. But I'm not somebody who relies on my stirrups a huge amount anyway, because I ride a lot from my seat. But yeah, cool, good stuff. Happy with that. The next day was manic with work, but I managed to get over to Amber's in the evening to have a lesson and run through the dressage test. Poor Amber having to put up with the escapades of Bex and Elf. I've turned up. I wanted to put his snaffle bit in for this because I don't have a Alta Escuela bit, and also it's like a curb bit again. So anyway, we've had to put in about 3 or 4 holes into the bridle to get the snaffle in the right place. So that has taken ages, but it is now on. And yeah, just having a little bit of a ride around. My stirrup length feels a little bit long, so I might have to adjust those. But yeah, anyway, he seems pretty happy, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, sorry Amber. So I've just popped in a couple of clips of this Alta Escuela dressage test. It's kind of equivalent to about a medium level, I would say. But yeah, this first bit was a bit of a mess. But yeah, we rode through it. It's very difficult because Amber's arena is a 20x40 and this test is designed for a 20x60. So some of the movements were a bit jammed in. Especially the 4-loop serpentine and canter with simple changes, which is towards the end of the test. But anyway, it was just enough for me to get a vague idea of the test and how it ran and try and memorise it slightly in time for this have a go session on the Sunday morning. So yeah, but I felt it rode really nicely actually, and as you can see, he's kind of getting a lot more comfortable with this new saddle as well as we're riding in it a bit more. A big change from the British dressage test is that there are 8 steps of Spanish walk at the end of this test. So yeah, we obviously haven't mastered 8 steps of Spanish walk on command at the right time. Sometimes we can do a couple of little steps here and there, as you can see. So definitely something we'll be working on. But yeah, he tried really hard. He was quite tired by the end of this, I think. But in the end, Amber popped over just to give us a little bit of a hand from the ground because I trained Spanish walk in hand and he does know how to sort of tap his knee onto a whip. So just having that little bit of extra help on the ground helps to encourage him to stretch out and do the steps. So it was okay. Obviously, we're not going to win any prizes for it, but you know, it's a work in progress. As with everything with horses, it can take time. And Amber very kindly let me use her hose to bath him. Right, so Alf has had a bit of a bath. He's actually been very good. He doesn't like having baths very much, but he has let me do most of his head. So yeah, just shampooed him all over. He's definitely looking better than he was. He's just so itchy. That's the problem. Aren't you? Itchy boy. So yeah, gonna rinse him off now and then get out of Amber's family's way because I'm definitely overstaying my welcome. Is that nice? Thirsty. Funny sausage you are, aren't you? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. So I drove back, fed the horses, had some dinner, and then did a couple of little bits of sewing I needed to do. So just having a last minute try on of everything because my lovely mother-in-law has finished doing my trousers for me. Because they needed shortening. So I've just put my jacket on and my waistcoat. I've got the original cummerbund waistband thing that I had with my Doma Vaquera outfit, but I've swapped obviously to this red one, and the hat that I've been kindly lent is red. So I was just this was the only colour I could get from the I only had like 5 minutes to just pop into a charity shop and I can only find a blue one, which goes with the jacket, but I'm not sure if it goes with the red. Anyway, we'll see. I'm sure it will, I'll be told it's not correct. But anyway, for a bodge job, last minute, it's looking okay. I'm quite happy. So, got my white tights as well to wear underneath, and my Spanish boots. So, yeah, I'm not putting those on now. It's way too late. It's like 1 in the morning now. I've got so much to do. So, yeah, anyway, feeling GBPRE ready. So, very late night, and the day before the show, we had a wedding to go to. So it's the day before GBPRE, and we are off to a wedding. So I've done the horses, and as usual rushed and had to do my makeup in the car. So I've been trying to do my eyeshadow and stuff whilst going through a load of country road potholes, which is good. Anyway, hopefully it looks acceptable. And yeah, everything I think is pretty much ready to load into the lorry tomorrow. There's a couple of last bits I've got to do when I get home late tonight to clean some boots, so that'll probably be a bit of a midnight job. But anyway, I'm feeling as ready as I can be under the circumstances, and hopefully we're going to have a really good time at GBPRE. I'm looking forward to seeing Philip, and Soph and I are looking forward to doing the tapas evening and stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be really good. I'm also wearing this really pretty bracelet with the beads on. The lady that I bought my saddle from that I'm taking to the show actually popped it in as a little gift with it. It was really kind of her, so thank you, Lisa. And yeah, hopefully it goes nicely with my outfit today. So we had a late night getting back from the wedding, and then it was an early start. We've just stopped for a quick look, remnants of yesterday's makeup. I did have a bath at about 11:30 last night, so I obviously didn't wash my eyes very well. Yeah, anyway, so we've just had a quick stop to pop to the loo, and we are about half an hour away now, so we are making good time at the moment. So yeah, be back on the road in a few minutes, and then hopefully be there with plenty of time to get his stable organised and get in the ring. So it's 10:30 now, my class is at 1, so yeah, hopefully we'll get in on time. Spoiler alert, the class was not at 1 o'clock. So, safely ensconced in his stable. We've got a neighbour, Elfie. Mm-hmm. Yes, your face is a bit dirty, we need to wash that now, don't we, quickly? So yes, he's got a nice stable. There's some shavings in here already, which is great because I can put those down. He's got a bit of a bed, and he's not looking too filthy considering he's been out in the muddy field overnight. Just look at his head. Don't we? Yes, the head. So yeah, let's get cracking. I'd read this timetable that the riding horse class was at 1 o'clock, but it was actually at 12:45, so we were really late. It was a complete disaster, basically. We didn't know how to get down to the ring. I ended up trotting down the hill with Elf having no time to even spook or look at anything. So he just had to go for it. We trotted down, and the steward said we would be allowed in at the judge's discretion. So he was very kind and did let us come into the ring and agreed to let us do our individual show, even though 2 people had already done theirs. But yeah, it was a real shame. We basically missed the class, so we weren't allowed to compete officially and had to go au concours. So considering the poor boy's only warm-up was the little bit of trotting down the hill to get down from the stable block to the arenas, he did very well. I mean, look at him. He was very settled considering everything. Went round pretty nicely and did a lovely individual show. I mean, this trot looks nice and rhythmical. And we actually look quite smart, you know. I've got the right gear on, we are pretty correctly dressed, I would say, and yeah, I just was gutted, really gutted. You know, it's so much effort to get to these shows, and then to mess it up with a stupid mistake on the timetable like that is just a real shame. But anyway, at least we got to go in and do something, and it was, you know, we could go for the experience if nothing else. And yeah, I think he looks really good. I was so pleased with him for this. So yeah, at this point I wasn't sure it wasn't really clear whether we were sort of allowed to compete or not. I didn't think we probably would be, but nobody else really seemed to be doing the jump. I missed the first couple of people, obviously, because we weren't in the ring, but quite a few people didn't bother to do the jump because it was optional. So I thought, well, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, and we might as well try and pick up any extra marks that we can get. So, you know, we decided to go for the jump. Lost a bit of rhythm here, and then he came into it and I was like, oh, we're doing a jump? Oh, okay. And woo, that was a pretty hefty sized jump for the minuscule cross pole that it actually was, bless him. Anyway, yeah, and gosh, look how he's moving here, beautiful. I mean, I do love him. What a good boy he is. So yeah, and then back round to the judge to finish off our individual show. And yeah, going kind of feel sad about getting in so late. It's just the worst feeling when you run so late as well, trying to rush, find everything, especially when you're, you know, just arrived somewhere after a long journey. It's so stressful. I really hate it. So yeah, and obviously it's very disrespectful to be so late into the ring. So yeah, not great all round, but there we go. And this is the judge at the end. He came to say to me, it was a shame you weren't in the ring. You would have come second if you'd have been on time. So I was like, oh, well, nice to know. But yeah, sad. Zooming in on my sad face. And then leaving the arena because everybody else did their canter go around with their rosettes. But obviously we didn't have a rosette, so we went out. So that was the only class I did on the Saturday. So we went to watch some of the Anthe classes, which is more of the kind of serious showing, and the young stock sort of movement gradings and things. And this is my friend Paul with his horse. She's a 2-year-old, and yeah, I wanted to go and watch because I am wanting to show Estrella like this, and it's quite an art to how it happens, the patterns that you have to sort of run them round in, and you have to run very fast along this long side to show them off to the judge. So yeah, we wanted to go along and just see what it was all about, really, so that I can learn a bit more about how to do it myself when I can finally get Estrella to a show. This bay was really lovely, and I think that was the winner of that class as well. But yeah, you can see it's very, very nicely put together. The next bit was the Alta Escuela dressage test class, and there was actually only one entry into this, which is a real shame because I was hoping to see a few more people run through this. If you saw my vlog from going to CCAB, I actually featured quite a few of these tests that my husband and I watched when we were at CCAB. So yeah, but only one entrant. Maybe I should have entered. I might have come second even with my very half-learnt dressage test. And the next section was the parade class. I hadn't entered this because Philip was judging it, and you can't be judged by somebody that you has bred your horse or trained you. So I had to sit that one out, but probably this would have been a class I would have done otherwise. And my friend Jo was in there, which was nice, with her big bay Lenny. And then there he is. And they also had this Menorcan horse, which is the black one that you can just see in a minute coming in. And they do this rear on command, which is called the bot, which is a unique move to the Menorcan horses. So yeah, very lovely to see them dressed up as well. So moving on to the evening, they had some of the working equitation speed rounds, which are always really good fun to watch, and it's nice to see a mix of the more novice combinations and think possibly I might have a go at that next year myself. And then moving on to sort of like the top-notch people in the country doing their tests at the end. So, but yeah, always really, really good fun to watch. So as you can hear, everybody really gets behind the riders, and it's all in very good humour. This one didn't really like the jump, But anyway, well done, got over it eventually. So these are some of the more advanced horses now. So it's ridden more tightly at a faster speed, and there's a little bit more accuracy. And yeah, it's very interesting to watch. This is the next level up again. So you've got the 2 poles for the side pass, and I think this is Lynn McLeod. And yeah, it's just really good to watch them when they're doing it with one-handed as well. So when you get to the higher levels, you have to ride the whole working equitation course with one hand. So yeah, it's very impressive to see. Again, if you've watched any of my vlogs that I've done about learning how to do working equitation, you know, a lot of these things you can just make at home. You know, it doesn't take a lot of money or equipment to be able to lay some poles out in these patterns. It doesn't all have to be dressed as smartly as these are. These are obviously, you know, the full competition gear type obstacles. But, you know, most people have got a couple of barrels or jump wings or poles lying around, and, you know, you can practice these things by yourself and get good at them. You know, side pass is one of those ones that I've had to practice a lot, and Elf is getting not too bad at it now. The one we do really struggle with is the gate. And I think especially when you're in a competition environment like this and they're a bit more hyped up, this can definitely be a sticking point for some people obstacle wise. So yeah, we are just practice, and, you know, hopefully we'll make it perfect, and by the time we actually get to finally do a competition, we will be ready to do it all. One thing I did notice in the lower levels, quite a few people knocked the side pass pole off the holder because they just didn't quite come away from the obstacle enough at the end, and they just needed to do 1 or 2 more strides across. But because they cut away from the obstacle too quickly, they just clipped it with the back of the horse's hoof and got penalties. So that's definitely something I will be practicing and making sure that when we come away from the side pass that we do enough steps to clear it properly before, you know, turning around to get to the next obstacle. That was a really lovely round, and a nice little jump over the last obstacle. Soph and I had a few drinks with some of my friends, and then we didn't get too late at night because I had to be up early. So Elfie's had a good night's sleep by the look of it, and his stable was quite clean. We're just knocking it out. What are you doing? So yeah, but I'm pleased with how he settled in, really relaxed, and I'm not feeling too hungover, which is always good. So anyway, 9 o'clock we're on to do our have a go at the Alta Escuela test, which is 8 o'clock. So yeah, just going to finish rocking out and then start getting him ready. So I managed to get this new Spanish outfit together and on, and off we went to meet Philip down in the big arena.
Alone in the arena, hands on. Really good. Sit back, loads. Let's enjoy the canter here.
It was very windy, so apologies for the sound.
Block in and breathe out. Come a bit closer to me and we'll do the hand to the left when you pop. Whenever you're ready. Okay. Okay, let's try a serpentine, yeah? If you need to do a circle to get him going, do it. Let's try the serpentine. Block the head, block it, really block it. Okay, all your weight back into the saddle, block your hip. There, and let's go. Sit back, just think about forward, don't worry about what he does. There we go.
So after practicing practicing the movements in bits and pieces. We had a go at running through the whole test, which was the first time I'd run through it in the correct sized arena, and I had learnt most of it, but there was just a few bits I needed some help with remembering, so Philip tried to sort of watch and call out a few instructions as we went along. So this is half pass at the beginning of the long side, and then a small circle when you get to B.
Yeah, keep that angle all the way to the circle and just pop that angle onto the circle. Very nice. Okay. And when you get to the end of that circle, we're going to traverse down. Just keep that tail in on the circle.
I really like the way the test flows because each movement is set up quite nicely, so as you come in and out of the circle you're already putting the horse in the correct position, and then it's straight into the half pass across to the right on this centre line.
Medium trot. That's a nice one. Collected trot, and all the same on the other side. Do the shoulder in, the circle, traverse. Now that's good. Now that's good. But a smaller circle this time. Okay, no problem. So, and traverse. And now prepare your half pass. Control the tail.
Had to do a quick adjustment of the hat there because it was falling off with the silky scarf.
You're going to do the walk. Give him a pat into the transition. Yeah, really nice. RV, extended walk. Same thing, you're going to think about giving him a pat, but that hand is going to go towards the neck. There, and then it's there we go. Try and open your fingers maximum because obviously you want to let them stretch as much as possible. Nice, nice. Okay. You're going to bring him back, and at K, we're going to turn and do the pirouettes, yeah? Think about popping into a circle there. There you go. Okay. Think about patting him. Think about patting him. And now go to that. They don't need to be too small, okay?
That second pirouette was a bit rubbish. And then straight into a counter transition here on the centre line. Then once you get down to the bottom, it's the start of the 4-loop serpentine with the simple changes. As you'll know if you've watched any of my other dressage videos, simple changes in canter are bad point. So we are working on that. It's getting better, I have to say. Some of this doesn't look too bad, but yeah, it is definitely work in progress.
Diagonal MK. Transition into trot. Diagonal extended trot. Really sit back at the end, up the centre line.
And then right at the end, down the centre line, the Spanish walk.
Hey, do a Spanish walk.
Spanish walk.
Right then, Elfie, let's do it. Lift.
Nice.
Boy, lift. Yeah,
Nice.
good boy. Again. And that's as much as we were going to get without any help on the ground. Sophie, might need some help. I was so lucky to get that session in that lovely arena to ourselves because nobody else had booked on, so great. So this is my friend Joe and I warming up and then going into the arena for the home-produced stallions and geldings showing class. He was very well behaved in here. We just had this one little spook coming up just about here. Where is it? Oh, yep, yeah, just there. He didn't like the flapping marquee by the side of the arena. That's all that was. So this was a mix of English or Spanish tack. You could wear whatever you wanted. So I decided to go in our Spanish outfit, seeing as I wasn't able to do the parade class the day before. And yeah, I was quite pleased with the overall effect. I thought it looked quite nice. And a lovely man that was stewarding found me some cable ties so that I could put the scarf over the front of the saddle that my friend Julie had lent me. So yeah, it finished it all off quite nicely. The only problem I find with doing these English style classes is when you're in the Spanish tack, because you're not really meant to be doing rising trot, you end up trotting around for ages and ages and ages in sitting trot. I'm all right at sitting trot, but you know, in a new saddle, it can get a bit painful. Just a bit of a near miss with that lady suddenly veering off in front of me. But anyway, yeah, he's cantering around very nicely here. So very happy with him. And we managed to get some nice extended work as well, because they did ask us to canter on a bit along one of the long sides. So apart from the hat being a little bit slippery with the silk scarf underneath, it was all pretty comfortable actually. Anyway, so here we are coming out to do our individual show. I have to say these judges were absolutely lovely. They were so friendly and encouraging, and we all had a really good giggle in the ring as well. It was just such a nice, relaxed atmosphere. So, you know, showing can have a reputation as being very serious and a bit dry. And yeah, for me, I don't like all the standing around. That for me is not my kind of cup of tea. But there weren't too many in this class. And having really lovely, friendly judges that actually talk to you and encourage you and just make you feel relaxed, because, you know, it's very intimidating going into these big arenas on a horse that hasn't done these kind of things many times. So just having somebody that kind of gives you a bit of a smile and is kind can really relax you and make it go so much better. And I think because we're relaxed, I mean, look how nicely he's moving here, because I'm able to move with him rather than being all tense. So even when he's having a little look at things there, coming up to that side, it's fine, we can deal with it. And he did a really lovely show here. I was really happy with him. We got all of our canter leads correct and he was listening. So yeah, I couldn't really have asked for any more from him. He was a very, very good boy. The only slight problem I was finding was the rain was starting to come down. I was the last one to go, and yeah, as I went to go, it started raining. And because I hadn't had a chance to put the grip tape onto the treads of the new stirrups, it was quite slippery as it got wet. So that was a little bit of a problem, but I managed to keep my stirrups luckily. So yeah, but definitely going to put that grip tape on for next time I ride. So my friend Jo got pulled in first on her lovely horse Lenny, and might I add, she was wearing my Wide Boot Company jacket because hers had gone missing from outside her stable. Someone picked it up by mistake, so I lent her my navy jacket from the day before, which Sophie kindly ran up to go and get from the lorry. So Jo wore that, and obviously I was in my Spanish gear, so I didn't need it, and we got pulled in second. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And Soph had managed to sneak into the judge's box so she could stay dry. Got that funny picture. So we had a little bit of a go round at the end, and then we were asked to stay in and wait for the championship. I don't think I've ever been in a championship before, so I didn't really know what was happening, but there we go. And he was doing very well, because he'd done a lot of work by this point. So if it had been up to me, I would have just probably got off and finished there, but obviously the chance to do the championship we didn't want to miss out on. And he still seemed to have plenty of energy, actually. I think he was just getting a bit fidgety more than anything else. But yeah, this is the championship going around now. So they brought the mares back in from the other classes. So these are the winners of the other class. And we all had to go around together. So, but yeah, there was a bit of a wait because one of the ladies was in a different class, and we had to wait a little while for her to be able to go and grab her horse. But yeah, they all waited very patiently, and it was worth the wait in the end, because it went very well for us, actually. So this is the extended canter. They really asked us to push on that long side, but he did a lovely job. Look at him extending there. So yeah, nearly finished, Elfie. So the judges are just deliberating over who they're going to give the reserve and the champion to, and we're lined up. Where it was so windy, the scarf kept banging against his shoulder in the wind, and I think he thought I was asking him to do Spanish walk, as I do sometimes touch him on the shoulder to ask for it, so I think that's why he's doing that. Anyway, we got called in as reserve champion. And as you can tell, Sophie was very excited about that, which was lovely. My friend Jo got champion, which was well deserved. Lenny looked really, really smart, and obviously she looked very smart in her wide boot company jacket. So yeah, a lucky jacket for her. Maybe I'll have to wear it myself again next time. And yeah, she got a lovely trophy, and we both got some very nice rosettes. So thank you very much to GBPRE for the lovely rosettes. And yeah, the judge, like I say, especially the lady, was so nice, really friendly, just had an absolute blast doing this class. So very happy. Unfortunately, my other rosette fell off as I was cantering round. I did manage to catch it by its tail, so but yeah, we didn't quite get the nice photo I was hoping for. But anyway, who cares about that? I was just pleased. He was so good. We had a great show. Thank you so much to GBPRE and everyone that helped. So we're back. We had a good journey home. I'm quite impressed. My husband has managed to put correct rugs that fit of a correct weight on the others while we've been away, because I didn't have time to tell him about rug changes, and they've been living in their fly rugs pretty much. But he's done a very good job, so extra brownie points to Pete. Well done. And here's a little close-up of our rosettes. GBPRE. Wow, what a fantastic experience. So Hartbury is a lovely venue, and I haven't been there since I was 14 years old, and I did my first ever hunter trial there on my horse Meg and fell off. So I was like, I hope that's not going to happen again when I'm here this time. Yeah, anyway, so because we had the wedding to go to on the Friday, which might I add was a lovely wedding. Thank you, Chelsea and Will, for such a lovely day. But you know, obviously doing something like that took all of the Friday before. Normally I would use that time to be packing my lorry and getting all my tack cleaned and ready, and I just didn't really get that time this competition. So you know, if you've ever done a stay away show like that, you know it's a lot of organisation, and organisation is not really my strong point. So I did well to actually remember everything I needed. 2 sets of tack, because I had a Spanish tack and English tack to take, and yeah, so it was a bit of a kind of a week, you know, leading up to it, but we got there we were actually in time for our class, but obviously I had the timetable issue that I didn't read it properly, my fault. So we ended up being late into the ring and not getting judged for that class, which was a huge shame because the judge did say to me he wished I'd got in on time because he would have put me second, which was a bit like, oh, damn it. So anyway, it is what it is, and rules are rules, so fair enough. And you can't expect to join in the competition when other people have already done their individual shows at the beginning. So that was that. But anyway, Elfie was so good. He rushed down there, got in the ring, and with no warm-up, went round, did his individual show very nicely, and then was like, oh, we're doing a jump, are we? Oh, okay, we're doing a jump. And that was it. He pinged over it. Good boy. So very chuffed with him. We had a lovely time on the Saturday night and caught up with quite a few friends. Really nice to spend time with Philip as well. Philip bred Euphorbio, and he was there judging some of the classes that I wasn't competing in because I couldn't be judged by him. So yeah, but we did the have a go session with him for the Alta Escuela test on Sunday morning, and nobody else had booked into that slot actually. So we had a really great lesson because we had much more time in that lovely big arena at Hartbury than we were meant to have. So I was very thankful for that. And then we hung around there and did the home produced geldings and stallion class. So I'm not a huge fan of English style showing where you're stood around for ages watching everybody, but there weren't too many people in the class, and it was nice to be able to dress up in the Spanish tack that we had. And so yeah, this was our rosette for that, which is very, very lovely. And then we obviously stayed in and got asked to do the championship class after that, and we got the reserve, which I was really chuffed about. And the judge was like, I was really umming and ahhing about, you know, which way to put you two at the top, and she said, you know, he did a really lovely show, the extensions were great. So, you know, all in all, the feedback was really good. We had such a nice time. Thank you to everybody who helped me, Julie and Susan for lending me staff, Sophie for coming with me, my husband for looking after the horses, my mother-in-law for helping me sew the trousers, and Amber for helping me in the lead up as well, you know, and Philip for his lessons that I have along the way on Pivo usually. So yeah, lovely to have it face to face. Really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, just really hope that you enjoyed the vlog. We had a lovely time. Thank you very much GBPRE for the show and running it so nicely. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be back another time. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you'd like to be notified of future videos.